I'll never forget the way that day unfolded and how fast a routine mission turned into a fight for both my country and my own dignity. It was late July, the kind of sticky summer heat that makes the air inside an airport feel like soup. I was walking through Hudson International, trying to look like just another 20-something traveler with a long day ahead. White tank top, rippy jeans, old sneakers, that was my disguise. Nothing flashy, nothing memorable, just a tired young woman who could have been going anywhere. But under that simple look, I was on the clock. My target, Viktor Malenkov, a mid-level arms dealer who'd been moving surface-to-air missiles around like candy, was supposed to hand off a bag before boarding a flight out of the country. My job watch confirm and give the green light for the takedown team. The chaos of the terminal was perfect cover. Families rushing to gates, announcements echoing overhead, the smell of burnt coffee, rolling suitcases clattering like a drumline. I thrived in that noise. It made me invisible. I spotted him near security rolling his black carry-on like every other weary businessman. Calm, composed. A professional. I was shadowing him from a distance, ready to close the gap when it happened. "Ma'am, stop right there." I turned and saw him. Officer Dale Mercer, mid-40s, puffed up, chest smug eyes that scanned me from head to toe like he was grading my existence. He wasn't looking at me as a person, just a young black woman in a tank top. "This is a family environment," he said, sneering. "That outfit isn't appropriate for an international airport." I felt the anger rise like a spark on dry grass. I'd been through war zones, interrogations, hand-to-hand combat, but nothing stung quite like being reduced to my skin and my clothes. I forced my voice steady. "Is there a problem, officer? I'm just trying to catch my flight." He leaned closer, his breath reeking of stale coffee. "Your destination?" he asked, like my answer would prove whether I belonged. I kept my tone neutral. "I'd rather not say." That only fed his ego. "See, that's suspicious. People with nothing to hide are more cooperative." "Let's see your ID." Over to his shoulder, I caught sight of Malenkov inching toward the checkpoint. Every second Mercer wasted on me was another second my target was slipping away. I tried to keep calm, but Mercer's voice got louder, his words sharper. "People like you come in here thinking the rules don't apply, dressed for a block party, refusing to cooperate. People like you." Those three words cut deeper than he realized. I wanted to fire back, but my training whispered in my ear, "Don't escalate, stay in control, the mission comes first." Still, when he ordered hands where I can see them and his hand drifted toward his holster, the crowd around us gasped. Phones were out recording. My face was lit up in a spotlight I had spent my whole career avoiding. I froze, raising my hands. "My wallet's in my purse, officer. You asked for I was reaching for it." But he didn't want resolution. He wanted submission. And then he crossed the line. He grabbed my arm, fingers digging in like he owned me. In that instant, everything shifted. I wasn't just a traveler anymore. I was an operative, and I had a choice: let this man's prejudice tank my mission or burn my cover to the ground. I moved. A quick rotation thumb pressed into his forearm, nerve precise, controlled enough to make him stumble back, shocked. The crowd gasped again, but this time it wasn't pity. It was awe. I squared my shoulders, met his eyes, and dropped the mask. "Officer Mercer," I said, my voice low, sharp as glass. "You will not touch me again." His face twisted. "Who the hell do you think you are?" I pulled out a black leather wallet, flipped it open, and let the seal do the talking. "My name is Alana Brooks, Central Intelligence Agency. You've just interfered with a federal operation." The silence in that terminal was deafening. His smirk drained into horror as he realized the woman he'd profiled and mocked was carrying more authority in her back pocket than he could dream of. But the damage was done. Over his shoulder, I saw Malenkov passing through security. My comms buzzed in my ear: "Target at gate C-19. Boarding in minutes." My cover was blown. I had no time to waste. I snapped my badge shut, glared at Mercer, and said, "You've compromised national security." "Get out of my way." I ran, sneakers pounding the polished floor, weaving through travelers like water through rocks. Behind me, Mercer tried to save face, shouting and pointing, "That's him! Stop him!" His clumsy attempt at redemption only alerted Malenkov. The arms dealer's eyes locked on mine. He knew. He bolted not toward the jet bridge, but toward the emergency exit. The boarding area erupted in chaos. People screamed, bags toppled, kids cried. Malenkov shoved past passengers, shouldering the exit open, the alarm shrieking as he burst onto the tarmac. I was seconds behind him, Glock in hand, voice cutting through the engine roar. "Stop, federal agent." For a heartbeat, he thought he had an opening. He sprinted toward the hulking shadow of a jet, desperate to disappear into the maze of steel and noise. But black SUVs screeched onto the tarmac, doors flying open. My team poured out, weapons drawn. Malenkov froze, cornered, his escape fantasy crumbling. He raised his hands, defeated. The mission was secure. But inside the terminal, the fallout was just beginning. When I walked back in, Malenkov cuffed and loaded into the SUV, the scene at gate C-19 was tense. Passengers whispered, videos already flying across social media. And there was Mercer, sweating, panicked, trying to spin the story to a Port Authority captain and an FBI liaison like he was the hero. The captain turned to me. "Agent Brooks, are you all right?" "I'm fine," I said, staring directly at Mercer. "But this man compromised my mission and endangered the public." Mercer's voice cracked. "Sir, I was following protocol. Her outfit was suspicious. She was evasive." I laughed, bitter and hollow. "Suspicious? Let's be real. You saw a young black woman in jeans and a tank top and decided she didn't belong. You didn't check my name. You didn't ask for my ticket. You profiled me. And because of that, a terrorist almost walked free." The captain's jaw tightened. He'd already seen the videos. There was no defense left. He held out his hand. "Mercer, badge and weapon, now." Color drained from Mercer's face as he fumbled to hand them over. In a single morning, he'd lost his authority, his dignity, and any illusion of power he thought he had. They escorted him out, head down, a broken man. I should have felt triumphant. The mission was a success. Justice, in a sense, had been served twice. But sitting in the debriefing room, later staring at blank walls and stale coffee, I felt tired. Because I knew the truth. I'd fought two battles that day. One against an arms dealer, the other against the quiet, poisonous weight of prejudice. And while Malenkov was in custody, that second fight, the one that told me I didn't belong, that I had to prove myself over and over, that fight wasn't over. It never really is. So let me ask you, what does a uniform mean to you? Should it be a symbol of protection for everyone, or does it too often become a weapon of bias? Have you ever been judged unfairly, stopped, or dismissed because of how you looked or what you wore? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because these conversations matter. Justice isn't just about catching criminals. It's about making sure the people sworn to protect us don't become the ones we need protecting from. I'll never forget the way that day unfolded and how fast a routine mission turned into a fight for both my country and my own dignity. It was late July, the kind of sticky summer heat that makes the air inside an airport feel like soup. I was walking through Hudson International, trying to look like just another 20-something traveler with a long day ahead. White tank top, rippy jeans, old sneakers, that was my disguise. Nothing flashy, nothing memorable. Just a tired young woman who could have been going anywhere. But under that simple look, I was on the clock. My target, Viktor Malenkov, a mid-level arms dealer who'd been moving surface-to-air missiles around like